Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Day Without a Plan, but with Lou in quote. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. The day began without an alarm and without a plan. Sunlight slipped through the thin curtains, landing softly on the floor like it had all the time in the world. Lou, my cat, was already awake. He always was. He sat near the window, tail wrapped neatly around his paws, watching the street as if he were the quiet manager of the morning. Lou is not a dramatic cat. He doesn't rush, doesn't beg, doesn't demand. He observes. When I opened my eyes, he turned his head slightly, just enough to let me know he had noticed my return to consciousness. That was his version of good morning. I stayed in bed longer than usual, listening to the sounds outside. Motorbikes passing, someone sweeping the sidewalk, a distant dog barking. Lou jumped onto the bed with a soft thump and walked across my chest as if checking whether I was real. He settled beside me, warm and steady, purring in a slow rhythm that felt like borrowed calm. Normally, mornings were full of plans, work, lists, deadlines. But this morning had none. No schedule, no urgency. Just Lou, the light, and the quiet promise that nothing bad would happen if we moved slowly. We eventually made our way to the kitchen. Lou followed closely, not because he was hungry, his bowl was still half full, but because he believed mornings were better when shared. I made coffee. Lou sniffed the air, unimpressed, and jumped onto the chair nearby. As I drank, Lou sat there blinking slowly at me. Cat owners know this blink well. It is trust. It is affection. It is a reminder that being present is enough. I blinked back, smiling, realizing that the day didn't need a plan. It already had Lou. By late morning, the sun had warmed the room, and Lou had relocated to his favorite patch of light near the balcony door. He stretched out completely, paws extended, whiskers relaxed, as if he had achieved some secret level of comfort that humans spend years chasing. I sat on the floor nearby with a book I wasn't really reading. Every few minutes, I looked up at Lou. He barely moved, except for the occasional tail flick, responding to sounds only he could properly interpret. A bird, a distant horn, the rustle of leaves. There was something deeply grounding about sharing space with him without doing anything important. No photos, no messages, no goals. Just existing together. When Lou finally stood up and walked over, he gently tapped my knee with his paw. Not a demand. An invitation. We played with an old string toy that had clearly seen better days. Lou chased it with enthusiasm that felt wildly disproportionate to the object itself. He slid across the floor, misjudged a turn, and ended up colliding softly with the wall. He paused, looked around, then walked away as if nothing had happened. I laughed. Lou pretended not to hear. In the afternoon, I worked a little at my desk. Lou supervised from a distance, occasionally jumping up to inspect my keyboard, convinced it was a warm, inconvenient bed designed specifically for him. When I stopped typing, he curled beside my arm, placing one paw gently on my wrist. It felt like a reminder. Work is fine, but don't forget me. As the hours passed, I realized how rare days like this were. Days without structure, but full of quiet connection. Lou didn't care about productivity. He cared about presence. And somehow, that made the day feel complete. As evening arrived, the lights softened and the room turned gold. Lou returned to the window, watching the sky change colors like a slow, private show. I joined him, sitting nearby on the floor. We watched together. No conversation was needed. Dinner was simple. Lou ate first, as usual, then cleaned his paws with great seriousness. I ate after, slower than normal, aware that rushing would feel disrespectful to the mood we had built all day. Later, we sat on the couch. Lou climbed onto my lap without hesitation, kneading gently before settling in. His weight was familiar, comforting. The television was on, but neither of us paid much attention. The day was ending the same way it began, quietly, together. Before sleep, I thought about how little we had actually done. No big achievements. No exciting events. And yet, the day felt full. Lou purred softly, eyes half closed, completely content. I realized that maybe the purpose of some days isn't progress, but connection. Lou yawned, stretched, and curled up beside me, as if signing off on the day. And in that moment, I understood something simple and important. This day with Lou reminds us that modern life often pushes us to plan, rush, and measure our worth by productivity. Yet animals live differently. Lou didn't need a schedule to feel safe or happy. He needed presence, patience, and gentle attention. From him, we learn that value does not always come from doing more, but from being more aware. In today's world, where people are often distracted and emotionally tired, animals offer a quiet kind of healing. They remind us to slow down, to notice small moments, and to build trust through consistency and kindness. Lou trusted me simply because I was there, because I shared space and time without asking for anything in return. We can apply this lesson to our human relationships as well. Listening without interrupting, spending time without agendas, and offering calm support can strengthen bonds more than words ever could. With animals, responsibility also means respect, understanding their needs, emotions, and individuality. A day without a plan doesn't mean a day without meaning. Sometimes, the most meaningful days are built from shared silence, soft routines, and unconditional companionship. Lou taught me that caring for animals is not just about feeding or sheltering them. It's about learning to live more gently, together.